Hey, what up, everybody? This is Stevie Breech coming to you, my Wrestlemania apparel here for you. Had a lot of fun at Wrestlemania, and this is the Wrestlemania review video of the whole week of everything that we did. Everybody knows who I went with. I went with Assault and Battery 777, Freaking 88, and Luke Cage once again. I can also say that we also have honorary members, Man on Fire 310, and For Real Christian from Twitter was with us just about at every step of the way. This was a real fun trip. We had some problems along the way, and but basically we got through it, and we had a whole lot of fun. It was really cool that we were able to get the band back together for one more time, and make our way through. Whole thing started on Thursday. That was the travel day. We all planned on flying in to Miami. We all got there within an hour of each other, so we were able to meet up real easy and not really put anybody, sitting at the airport all day. From there, with the travel package, the hotel didn't start until Friday, but we wanted to be settled in and ready for the ROH show. We didn't want to be flying in and then on a mad dash trying to get out to Fort Lauderdale to watch that show. We flew in a day early. We paid for a hotel for one night, split it three ways. Wasn't that bad. Luke flew into Fort Lauderdale. He had his own little story, but we weren't able to meet up with him until the next day. But we had a whole lot of fun. If you came in our blog TV that night, it was a pretty fun time. Thank you for everybody getting us through it. We were having a little bit too much fun. Those walls were a little too thin, and people were either taking it to Pound Town in the other room, or people were taking it to it's just saying that we were making too much noise because they were pounding on the walls every couple of minutes. But they never knocked on our door, and they never gave us a noise complaint from anybody. But we also went to Taco Bell that night. I was able to try the Doritos taco for the first time. But basically, whatever that hotel was when, they were pretty nice to us. Free Marvel Comics. Went to sleep that night. Woke up the next day. Free continental breakfast downstairs. I basically went downstairs and I owned that joint. There was I had some sort of cereal. I think I had Raisin Bran to start the day. I had two bagels. I had two muffins. Um, shoot, if there was food there, I was eating it. And I also took two bagels back to the room and two muffins. Basically, for the point that knowing I wasn't going to get much to eat the whole rest of the week, knowing how many times we ate last week, and I just basically kept those stashed. When we left Friday, we went back to the hotel. We picked up our rental car from the thrifty place. They were pretty nice to us, pretty good rates. If anybody needs a rental car, thrifty rental, I can put them over and say they were good. We drove into Miami. It was pretty nice. We drove in. As you're driving in, the first thing that we really saw was the new Florida Marlins stadium. Real nice place. Real small, but really big. It stood out against everything else. Really nice looking stadium. Wish we could have went inside and saw something in there, but I can't remember if we stayed at the Hilton or if we stayed at the Hyatt. But it was a hotel place that started with an H. I think it was the Hilton now, because I remember making Paris Hilton jokes about taking it in the rear access or the rear door, or whatever it was. But got all settled there. Got Luke Cage where he was able to take a sleep. We left there. We headed out for Ring of Honor. I think we picked up Kevin along the way that day, and he traveled in with us. Travel was shitty, basically because people in Miami are horrible drivers. They honk at you for anything. There is no right of way. They just come into your lane. I drove all week, and I've never driven in New York traffic, but I fear New York traffic being worse than Miami. But as of now, Miami is the worst traffic they've ever drove in. Before that, it was San Francisco. But this blew the whole hell out of San Francisco just because of rudeness and everything else. Whoever else was driving around, I think I saw Johnny Thunder driving around in their group's videos. I feel sorry for them, and I hope everybody made it through with no accidents, because people out there just, they don't give a shit. When we arrived at the ROH meet and greet, we thought we were late for the meet and greet because we were a little bit behind. I think we were almost an hour behind. But once we got up there, it was set up to where we only really needed 10 minutes, and we were back out in the parking lot waiting for what we were gonna do. While we were there, I met up with shit. I met the Briscoes, All Night Express, World's Greatest Tag Team, Lance Storm, Jay Lethal, Kevin Steen. Basically, all those people were real nice because basically I think you were given $10 a person for an autograph and a picture. Everybody that was there, mainly, I got them to sign if they were on this. I think everybody was. Um, ROH takes center stage. Oh, yeah, I didn't put him on here, but I also got Eddie Edwards to sign this because he was the champion at the time. I skipped out on Davey because I'm not the biggest Davey fan, and I skipped out on Roderick Strong. I don't know. I don't know why I skipped on Roderick. Davey, I was had the intentions of meeting when I got there, even though I didn't like him that much, because he is the champion now. But he just looked so out of it at the meet and greet that he didn't want to be there that I just said I'm not gonna bug him and fuck him. He ain't gonna get my $10. When I was there, they were guys had these to get signed if you didn't have them. A lot of people were fans of 8x10s. I'm not the biggest fan, but if they're going to give me one, I'll take it. All Night Express, after I got my autograph and my picture, they gave me this. They said, "Do you want one of these?" I said, "Yeah, these guys are real cool guys. I will always be a fan of these guys. I was before. I will be from here on out." And I almost bought their shirt because they were nice and they gave me this damn 8x10. And then I met the world's greatest tag team, who gave me these here, which got us into a huge beef, which I've made a whole video on. If I can sum it up as fast as you can, you had tickets for autographs, you had tickets for pictures. And I put it down, and I said I got an autograph and a picture. And by picture, I think they thought 8x10. I meant picture with my camera, with them standing in front of me, so I could say, hey, I met these fools. I can put it on TwitPic, I guess. I don't know why I paid for the pictures. But, you know, basically me and Charlie Haas got into a bump, and I was trying to be as nice as I could. I don't want any wrestlers pissed at me. But basically he was, calling me a cheap fuck, and, basically the ROH guy came over. I'm not sure if he was security or management, but he just said, take the damn picture and, let the kid move along. I don't know how old they thought I was, but I'll take a kid all day long. It makes me feel pretty good. Once that was all squared away and done, I didn't want any beef. So I tried to give them the 8x10s back. I guess I didn't pay for these, so you guys can keep them. I don't, need you guys mad at me. And Charlie Haas said, we don't have any other fucking fans named Steven to give them to, so you keep them. So I sort of took that as he didn't have that many fans. But I don't know. I was a fan of those guys going into it. Shelton Benjamin fucked Ravi last year, who is honestly one of his favorite wrestlers. And he fucked me this year, so fuck them. Stay in the indies the rest of your life. I don't care, because basically I haven't been watching a whole lot of Ring of Honor, but you guys are losing the fans that you guys have there, and people are getting a little bit sick of seeing you guys, and you're a little stale. So if I was anybody there, I'd be kissing their ass, especially if they want to give you $10-20 for an autograph and a picture. You know what I'm saying? But basically, went into the show, met up with everybody. LV, Instant Classic 8, Hindturd was there, Sabu TNA, Johnny Thunder, the Wrestling Mind. The list goes on and on and on. I can't really remember everybody. There was people that were seeing me at the show. This year was different than last year. When I was at Axxess, a lot of people came up to me and said they watched my videos, and I thought that was really cool. I just, go along with the flow. And I like to talk to people that watch my videos, try to talk them into making more videos if they make videos, just basically so the community can grow. This year, people weren't as coming up to me. I got a lot of tweets saying, I see you, and I'm just like, come say hi to me. I don't know. I guess I was scaring people off this year. Maybe I hit 30, and it's not the same as 29. But basically, the show was really, really fun. Oh, you know what? I didn't show these off. This is what I got Kevin Steen to sign. He signed this. It says, fuck ROH. And I said, yeah, that made my day, son. Once we were in the show, I met Nigel McGuinness. Had him sign this. And I gotta put it, I started to see it. It's on there, I swear to God. It's over, it's in silver. The silver didn't show up that well, but it is what it is. When we were in the show, once we hit halftime intermission, they had the Young Bucks appearing, and I needed them to sign this for Ring of Honor Volume 5. They honestly didn't know they were on the cover when I gave it to them. They didn't know why I wanted them to sign it. They were looking at the match list and said, we only have one match. And I'm like, but you're on the cover. And then when I said that, he only thought I wanted to sign it because Eddie Edwards had him in the hold on the front. And I'm like, no, dude, you guys are freaking featured. There you are. So they signed it out for me. Completed that one. So I think I completed 3 different covers of getting everybody to sign them that were on there. ROH, everybody was really nice except for the World's Greatest Tag Team. Briscoes were probably by far the nicest guys. Once we were in the show, we were sitting front row right where the curtain was. That's one whole hell of a lot of a fun experience. Make sure you sit that close whenever you can, or at least once in a lifetime. I guess you're saying the seats were Shit, but they really $100? I think they were $100 fucking bucks. Don't pay that much if you don't have to. But it was cool to sit there. We gave hell to the world's greatest tag team when they were in there. We were yelling at them the whole time they were there. Haas actually yelled at us in the middle of taking a back bump when he was doing the flip in the ring. I had to give him a little bit of respect for that, even though he lost a whole lot of it in the parking lot that day. What else was happening? That's when Kevin got Davey's mouthpiece, and Truth Martini took a bump while he was looking at it. I thought that was pretty cool. Kevin Steen did a table spot right in front of us. That was pretty funny because Sabutine forever was sitting like third or fourth row behind us. Somehow we look over during the middle of that Steen and Generico match, and he's just sitting in the front row between me and Ravi like it was no big deal. But I guess you're going to mark out, get as close as you can. I mean, come on in, we got room for everybody. Bring it on up. From there, we left. We went to the sports bar. That's when we met up with Classic 8, LV, Nightmare 10, or is it Nightmare 88? We met up with one guy named Nightmare. Phil, the world's biggest Tebow fan. I can compare him to maybe a Gemini 686, not in videos, but in real life. Instant Classic put up a video of all the merch that he bought. He basically bought any merch that was not nailed down. He just got sick on everything, and that is one cool guy. I am glad to call that guy a friend after this. No, that was when we picked up these. Kevin brought these to the show, so everybody in the front row can wear them. We had a whole lot of fun at that Ring of Honor show. That was a whole lot of fun. Once we went to the sports bar, though, I was in the Team Tebow debate broke off. We were watching some sports. Everybody drank some beers, had some food, and that was real nice. I got a call from the Ireland Patriot just to say that he had no life and that he wanted in our vacation, even though he wasn't in Miami. Then we got back to the hotel that night and found out that he had actually called our hotel room, as well as talked to Luke on the phone as well. I mean, that's one way to say you don't have much of a life. Sorry, buddy, but if you want to be part of the party, throw your money on the table and get your butt to the show. Let's see. Saturday morning we woke up. Honestly, we woke up late. We were trying to leave at 8:30. I woke up at 8:15 and woke the troops up. We headed out to Wrestle Reunion. Wrestle Reunion. I met we met the New Age Outlaws, DDP, Shelly Martinez, who is the babe of the week, right behind Maria, Cole Cabana, Mickey James. I think everybody on that list I had signed the They all signed my encyclopedia except for DDP, who I had DDP sign his Positively page, the Story of Diamond Dallas page book. He signed this on the inside. He also gave out these things if you're into just various autographs of people. It's like his yoga thing. I guess he signed it so that way you keep it. Maybe you'd look at it and you get some people to sign up. But there's a signature on the inside of the book. I got 2 books signed. I guess I'm into getting my wrestling books signed now as well for my collections. But my wrestling, collections of stuff that I bought, if you're not getting a good enough shot of them in this video on this shitty webcam here on the MacBook, I'll make a different video with a different camera in a day or two, and you guys can, I'll check that out because I know a lot of people like that a whole lot. Colt signed the ROH thing. Larry Zbyszko was there. I was talking to Larry Zbyszko. I just mainly wanted to ask him about Scott Hall because he's probably the one guy that was there that was the closest to him, and I was really wishing that we'd be able to meet him at a wrestler reunion or something like that. And I said, "Hey, man, how's Scott Hall doing? Is he doing good? You looking after him?" And he said, he just looked at me and goes, "That guy's fucking crazy." And I was like, "Oh, okay." From watching their YouTube videos, I thought they were honestly really truly friends, but maybe that's just a little bit of camera, or maybe he just wanted me to buy something and told me to go away. When I was standing there in order to get the conversation started, I wanted to act like I was looking at something, and he had a picture. He had various 8x10s that were sitting on the table, so I was checking out those. He goes, "You like this one of me and Muhammad Ali?" Which looked like he was basically taking at a wrestling convention, much like the one we were at, except he probably waited in line and paid Muhammad Ali to take the picture with him. Now that he has the picture, he's printing it out on computer paper and had the nerve to tell me, "You like that one? It's rare." And I'm like, "Larry, it's on fucking computer paper. It's not even on normal like Kodak paper. You didn't even go to Kinko's or anything like that. It's on fucking computer paper. It's not rare. You can go back to your house and print out 100 more if you want to. There's an endless supply of Larry Zbyszko and Muhammad Ali photos." Basically, I wasn't there to meet Zbyszko anyways. I really don't think he is a living legend. I think he's just the guy that would happen to be in certain spots at certain times. But that's just me, and that's just the opinion that I've got from watching various wrestlers' opinions on him through shooting interviews who have said the same thing. Basically, after we left Wrestlemania, we headed over to ROH for the second day. The second day was a lot better than last year. Last year, we didn't get much sleep, and I honestly fell asleep about 4 or 5 times. Took little minute cap naps. This year, I didn't fall asleep at all. I was looking at my phone a whole lot, though, to keep myself awake. Everybody was buzzing about the Davey match. Gotta give it up to Davey. Davey matches a lot. Put me to sleep on their own. I'm not a big fan of Davey Richards. It's just my opinion. There's other wrestlers that I was there to see, and I had a whole lot of fun. But the Elgin match, a lot of people were burning the house down, so it was fun to talk to people about that match once it was all over, said and done. From ROH, we left there. We headed back to the hotel to get ready to head out to the Hall of Fame. Once we were at the Hall of Fame, JBL's speech and Edge's speech saved it for me. I really didn't think that it was as good as last year. Oh, I forgot Arn Anderson's speech. That was the fucking shit right there. Arn Anderson deserved to be in the Hall of Fame on his own, and I was honestly mad that he had to go in as a member of the Four Horsemen. When it first started, I believe Tully was the first guy to speak, and I said, "Wow, that's cool." Flair's gonna stand back, and he's gonna let these other guys get the shine because he's already been in the Hall of Fame, and this is gonna be their night. I honestly thought that, and then Flair spoke second, and I said, "Oh shit." That went out the window. But when Arn finished it strong. I am a true believer that Arn Anderson is the most valuable member of the Four Horsemen. Yeah, he never had the titles. Flair always did. But before you fought Flair for that championship, Arn fought you, and Arn fucked you up to where you went in that match and you were not 100%. Arn Anderson, truly, in my mind, is one of the greatest Four Horsemen of all time. And I would honestly say that he's more valuable to Flair. Flair had the championships, Arn did the dirty work. And that is why Arn Anderson has all my respect. And, he didn't always get to beat the big guys, but he made sure that when you went into those matches against Flair at Starrcade or Great American Bash or anything like that, you were not 100%. I will always be an Arn Anderson fan, and it was awesome to see him go in the Hall of Fame, though I don't know if they're going to do it now, but he deserved to go in solo. But now they're putting in groups like the Four Horsemen, who are the leaders. You're going to get groups like the NWO, Hogan, Hall, and Nash. You're going to get DX. Evolution can have their day down the road. So this is a door opener to other things. But I just think that make sure you cannot put people in solo before you put them in, because I believe, like I said about Hogan and the NWO going in, Hall deserves to go in solo. Nash deserves to go in solo. Make sure these guys don't get make sure they get their day in the light before you put them in as a group, because the group is sort of a cheap way to put these guys in, to put them on the top of the ticket to make people want to show up. I think Edge was for the fans of today, Horseman for the fans of tomorrow, to make sure that that place got filled up for the Hall of Fame. But it was awesome to see Arn go in, but I wish he would have gone in. As the show was going on, Yokozuna went in. I wasn't the biggest fan of Yokozuna in the video that I made, but I knew who Miguel was. Freaking 88 is a big Yokozuna fan. Said that he should have been going in the Hall of Fame for the past few years. So when that ended, I started to nudge him with my arm, and I said, "Was that everything you thought it was going to be? Was it that special with Rikishi and the Usos, coming out and putting him in?" And he just looked at me and said, "Dude, I think I'm dying." And I didn't really take that much of it, even though that's a little bit out of character for Miguel, the guy that I've been friends with for a while. Once that show ended, he let us know that he wasn't feeling all that 100%, and he said that he wanted to go to the pharmacy. I made a mistake of not driving him to the pharmacy, and I apologize. That's 100% my bad. But when he came to me and he said that he knew where the pharmacy was down the street, I figured that he knew that it was within walking distance, because we were on our feet at that point, and we didn't walk to the car. If I would have known it as far as it was and how sick he was, I would have took him to the car. But I walked this guy a mile down the street at least, and to him it was probably 10 times as long before we gave up. And damned, the next day when we left to start driving to the Wrestlemania, I noticed that the pharmacy, well, I think it was a Walgreens, was maybe not even a block from where we stopped. So that made me feel even more shitty. But basically took him back, and he was able to lay down and get some rest. Me, Luke, Ravi, and Christian went out and we hit the town. We were trying to find anything we could to eat. We tried an all-night grocery store, this, that, and the others. Basically, Checkers was across the street from my hotel, but they have a walk-up line that was at least 35 to 45 minutes wait. We didn't want to wait that long. We had called Domino's. Domino's said it was going to be 2 hours to deliver to a hotel. So we walked around until we finally said, fuck it. I said I wasn't going to need anything to sleep. Ravi and them said they were going to call Domino's. one more time, and they were going to wait as long as they needed to because they needed food. I was willing to wait until the next day, but when they called for the last time, at least at 2 a.m., they said they could be there in 45 minutes, even though it seemed like they were there in 20 to 30. We got some pizza. We ate up. We fell asleep, and I think I fell asleep with my butt up in the air that night because I was sitting on my computer and I didn't know I was gonna fall asleep. But that's a story for another day. Basically, when we woke up on Sunday, it is always a weird feeling when you wake up on Sunday, and it's Wrestlemania day, and you're just like, man, it seems like we just got here, and we're already going to Wrestlemania, which means we'll be going home the day after tomorrow. But basically, Miguel still felt like shit, and he told us he was to skip Wrestle Reunion and he wasn't gonna head out with us. Um, that was a little weird, but we got our shit together. It was three of us in the car. It was Luke and Ravi and I. We started driving, and that's when we noticed that that day was a triathlon in town, and we should have left earlier because traffic was horrible because the biking event went right past our place, and they converted our street down to one lane. We had to use some back roads to get around. Basically, everybody remembers my video of me packing, I think, where I was showing how I put all my stuff in this priority box to keep it safe inside my luggage. I forgot this fucking box that day. It did not make it to Wrestle Reunion, so I did not have anything for Hurricane Helms. Worst of all, I had a figure in here for Extreme Nick 09 to get signed. And he didn't have anything for Matt Hardy to sign either, so I sort of let everybody down, as well as my magazine for Sunny, who I really didn't need because she didn't show up for Wrestle Reunion for one reason or another. I heard she was at Axxess, so maybe WB offered her more money. Oh, speaking of figures, though, I apologize. I got my Jay Lethal Impact figure signed. Like I said, autograph video will be coming later. And as well, I don't think I showed this off, but when I met the Young Bucks to get my autograph, they gave me a t-shirt. This is the hashtag the Young Bucks. Make sure you send that out on Twitter saying you saw that Stevie Breech wears the Young Bucks shirt. We can get that over. Basically, when we were at Wrestle Reunion on the second day, we met up with Hardy, the Hurricane, Velvet Sky. Hardy and Hurricane, I both had them sign my encyclopedia because I had it. That's one reason to really bring that book around with you is because, oh no, I apologize. Matt Hardy, I had him sign the Hardy Boys book. Right here on the front cover. He met me. I didn't really go into the whole thing about making the video, but he did see the t-shirt that I had that basically said Waffle House Shooters, and I made CM Punk a motherfucking superstar. And he did like it. He laughed at it. He took a little shot at himself, and I gotta give it up to a guy like that because, you know, it is fun to make fun of yourself when you're in a position of being a celebrity like that. You know that people are gonna take cheap shots at you, and he just rolled with it, and he thought it was funny. He shook my hand, and I felt like I was back on the track. I met both Hardy Boys in 1 year, and you know it was pretty cool. And I'm at the point now where if he really wants to get his life situated, and stay off the road when he's drunk and stuff like that, wrestling's good for him, and he's good for wrestling. And I remember back when I was really a big fan of his years ago, and so I really want him to get to a place where he's better off in his life. Generico was there. He signed my ROH cover. He signed it for free. He was only charging for pictures, and he was just trying to push his merch that he had out there. We weren't there all that long. We hit up the High Spot stand when we were there. When I'm showing off these DVDs, they're on top. I don't know what other way I'm going to show this, but my buddy Rooney on Twitter and High Spots and other things, he sent me the Once in a Lifetime DVD of The Rock, and Cena wasn't able to see it, so I'll be able to see it now. Walmart had a $5 deal. I just picked this up, TLC 2010. You can't go wrong for $5. The main things I bought from High Spots was I bought this real cool set, The History of the ECW title, which is through RF Video, but I bought it from their table. It is 6 discs. Has every title change in ECW in between the Douglas throwing the NWA title in the trash and renaming it the ECW title all the way down to Rhino. The one thing that is on here that I will probably watch first is the match where Taz and Dreamer do the title change when Taz was a member of ECW. I apologize. He was a member of WB, and he dropped the title back after he won it for Mike Awesome. I've seen the Awesome one 1,000 times. I have that show from Indianapolis. I have that on DVD already, but I've never seen the other title change. So that was pretty cool. to pick this up. I'll definitely be watching this sooner than later. About this documentary, it's called Memphis Heat. It is about Memphis wrestling. Jerry Lawler, Jimmy Hart, and others. Dave Meltzer, Brian Alvarez did a whole observer review on this, and it really got me to the point where I really needed to get this. Really wanted to see it. As well as that, I completed my set of $5 wrestlings. Got all of these. I got the what is that? Burt County. This many. What is that? Tournament of Champions. Tough Enough. Raw. Live in Los Angeles. And Road Trip to Cleveland. So those are all the DVDs that I got. And from there, we left to Axxess, which we were mainly only going to Axxess because of the fact that what was the reason that we were going? Oh, because Ravi had a Rey Mysterio ticket, and they're gonna meet him VIP. I wasn't able to sell my ticket, but I also really wanted to go in there just to see the memorabilia. They brought all the Rock stuff in there, and I thought that was worth the price of admission just to go in there and see there. Little did I know that Axxess wasn't gonna be like Axxess last year. We got there late, and we walked in. It was almost right to the point where it opened. It seemed like, and 'cause none of the wrestlers that had come out, we didn't know where anybody was gonna be. So we just scattered like dogs because Ravi was going one way, I was going another way. I ran over and I got in the picture line because I figured I was only gonna be able to meet one thing because I figured this thing was gonna fill up sooner than later. So I got in line for a picture thing. I was mainly hoping to meet a diva and take a picture with her. I guess so I can put it on TwitPic and show off to everybody else that, I don't know if people thought I was going to bang this chick or what, but I don't know. It ended up being Ricky Steamboat. So I was like, shit, I met Steamboat last year. So I jumped out of that line, ran over, and got into the Legends line, which is always a good one to go to, especially if you have the encyclopedia, because they're going to be in there. When it ended up being Jimmy Hart, I was like, oh, damn it, because I had just bought the Memphis Heat DVD, and that would have been a great thing for him to get signed, but I didn't bring it with me. I left it in the trunk when I was going there. But that was another thing at Axxess. When we got there, I was going a little stir crazy through my bag. People noticed when they got too many pockets. It happens to them every once in a while. I lost my camera, like my picture camera, not my flip cam, but I couldn't find it in my bag. Oh, this thing, I lost it. I couldn't find it. And I was honestly going crazy. I was looking through the seats where I was sitting, and the driver's seat. I was going through the trunk. I took everything out of my bag. One thing led to another. It took me 10 minutes or so, but I finally found it. That was why in the Axxess video I was running up to everybody calling them fuckers because they got sick and tired of waiting and they ditched me. But basically, I found my camera and we went back inside. And when we were meeting Jimmy Hart, it was really cool because the Axxess, the security guards try to keep it real strict. And he came out as Jimmy was making his way to the stage. He came up on the stage and said, "All right, everybody, this is gonna be Jimmy Hart. He's gonna be doing signing. If you need pictures, make sure you have your cameras open. Make sure you have your items up. Make sure we can keep this line moving, and this, that, and the other." And Jimmy Hart heard that, and he came up to the front of the stage as soon as this guy got done making his speech. He said, "You know what, guys? This is Axxess. This is Wrestlemania. We're here to have fun. Everybody, have your cameras. We'll take pictures. I'll sign autographs. You ask me something, I'll tell you a story. You guys paid to come to WrestleMania. This is going to be fun. I'm not going to move anybody along. Let's just get this done, and everybody will have fun." And I was like, whoa. He really, made that security guy look like a douchebag, which is probably what those guys are supposed to do. But Jimmy Hart's a good guy. He's probably the nicest guy that I met there at Axxess. But like I said, I thought I was only going to be able to meet one person, but I was able to move her along. I had a whole hell of a lot of fun at Axxess. That was one of the most funnest Axxesses that I've ever been to. Let's see, I went from Jimmy Hart. I met up with Sean Blackford and Robbie Rebel. From there, I went and got my picture taken with the Money in the Bank briefcase. From there, went over and met Heath Slater. Heath Slater went to the Usos. After I met the Usos, went over and played a round of trivia with the Salt and Battery. Hopefully everybody's seen that video up on my channel as well. Played against some little kid, did the job, let the kid win. That was really fun. From there, I think that's when Ravi finally went to go meet Rey Mysterio. And I went over, I met Tyler Rex, and I met Kurt Hawkins. When I met that, I saw that Jinder Mahal, the man, was finally out. And then Ravi was making a point that he was going to make sure that he met Jinder Mahal. So I'm calling him on the phone. And little I know that I interrupted his picture that he was about to take with Rey Mysterio. And he had to get that thing all fixed instead of which to wait up. But they made the mad dash all the way from one side all the way to the other to make sure that they got their picture and everything. And we got to meet Jinder Mahal. after Jinder Mahal, we were at the point where we were pretty much done. I really wanted to see the memorabilia. That was the one thing that I felt bad that I did not get to see the year before. So I said, hey, you guys do what you gotta do, but I'm gonna go in this memorabilia. I do not want to miss this. Once I was in the memorabilia, I got in line, and I was like, wow, that's weird that there's actually a line in order to get in the memorabilia and look through it. But I was willing to sit in that line. As I got to the front of the line, there was a stand that they put out that says which wrestlers are appearing for autographs. And I look at the sign and I'm like, holy shit, Harley Race is in there. Fuck yeah. Little I know, I thought I was just going in there to meet, to look at the memorabilia. I'm gonna meet a legend. and King Harley Race is the guy that I love. Huge. I didn't even think there was a chance in hell I was ever going to meet this guy. Went through the memorabilia line, came all the way around. I got to see a whole bunch of stuff. I marked out when I saw Macho Man's WrestleMania 10 attire. They had Jack Swagger's WrestleMania 26 attire. Right about the time I took my picture with the Jack Swagger thing, I turned around and I saw this guy in a cowboy hat. And I said, I don't know who the fuck that guy is, but that's not King Harley Race. I basically got my encyclopedia and I'm looking through it. Finally, somebody tells me that's Dory Funk. I had no idea that was going to be Dory Funk, but got to meet him, take his picture with him, but I was pissed that I did not get to meet King Harley Race. From there, I left. I went through the Rock exhibit. That was really cool stuff that they had in there. They had the 2002 Rock belt buckle from the Rock concerts. That was the one thing that I marked out for the most, as well as the Brahma Bull belt. Went and I got my picture taken with the WWF Championship, or WWE Championship, I guess. Get some comments about that. Last year they were telling us that was the real belt. This year they didn't really tell us anything, so I'm not sure if that was a real belt or a replica belt, but all I can tell you that it was fucking heavy. That's all I know. Once we were at that point, that was when I was supposed to call Ravi and say where I was, so that way we could meet up and we can get the hell out of there. I call him up and he says, hey, I'm in the back of the place all the way in this far corner. I walk to this far corner and I don't see him. I'm looking left, I look right. Little I know, he was behind me in the food court eating probably pizza. He was sitting down and I didn't see him. So I stood there for a minute. I look over and I'm like, whoa, the Fink is signing right there, Howard Finkel. And the line's not that long, so I say, I'm going to look for him, but I'm going to look for him while I'm waiting in this line. So basically, I was standing in that line for a couple minutes. I finally get a text from him and say, hey, are you in line to meet the Fink? And I'm like, are you ready to go? And he said, yeah, go ahead and meet the Fink. So I met the Fink, rolled out of there, finally went up and met up with Ravi at the food court, and we walked out of there. When we got to the car, remember that little story about me getting all crazy about the camera? I left the fucking car door open. The driver's side corridor open, just sitting open, trunks closed. So I'm looking through, I'm like, my iPod's still sitting in the cup holder. It's still playing because it's still hooked up. I forget what the heck else is. Oh, the GPS is sitting in the cup holder as well. That's still plugged in. We popped the trunk. Everything's still in there. I don't know. People must have been walking around Axxess parking lot wondering why the car door open was. Nobody had the guts to go over there and close it. Maybe there was a dead body in the trunk or something like that they thought about. But that was one story that you had to really think about. That could have been shitty because Ravi had a whole lot of stuff in the trunk from Wrestlemania. I had all my DVDs from Wrestlemania in there. There could have been a whole lot of stuff lost, and I would have really took the fall on that one. From leaving Axxess, we went back to the hotel to pick up Miguel. Because I met the Fink, we were there later than we were supposed to. The shuttles that we were supposed to ride on were leaving at 3:30. We got there honestly about 3:20. But we sort of said, yeah, fuck it. We're not going to really get a hustle that bad. If we make the bus, we make the bus. If we don't, we don't. That's when we get a call from Kevin. Kevin had got left behind at Axxess because of one thing or another. Man on Fire 310. So we bit the bullet. We drove. We went and picked up Kevin. He was nice enough to give us the money for parking, which ended up being $40 fucking dollars to park your car at Sun Life Stadium. Not even in the parking lot. In the parking lot across the street. It was $40. But they had us by the balls. There was only one way to get us there, and traffic was awful shitty to get there. I don't know if we left late or if it was shitty, but there was a wreck where two people pulled out of the Walmart parking lot at the same time and sideswiped into each other. That sure the hell didn't help out, but we missed. Once we parked our car, we had to run like hell because we'd already missed the pre-show match with Epico, Primo, Justin Gabriel, and the band of others. We'd already missed that. That's the time we arrived. So we ran like hell through the parking lot. We got to our seats, which were eighth row, and they were honestly a whole hell of a lot closer than I thought it was gonna be. We all dressed up. We all bought the Rise Above Hate shirt, which I'm a shirt that I'm honestly not that big of a fan of, but to be a part of the Team Cena, you had to roll in style, and so we rolled in those. I went out and bought a pair of camouflage shorts because I was wearing the black and the camouflage. I didn't feel like wearing the orange Tennessee hat that everybody knows me for. I wore my black 49ers hat. I don't know why, but I ended up being on TV almost the whole night. I was in the top right-hand corner of the screen, sitting next to the guy in the cowboy hat, and I don't know. We got a whole hell of a lot of people texting us saying that we saw us for the second time. Sitting that close, we got a whole lot of texts from people at the ROH show, people watched on the pay-per-view. But oh fuck, man, WrestleMania was honestly everything that it could have been and more. It was just awesome. I mean, the one match that I really wanted to see more than anything was Undertaker and Taker, and that match took everything out of me, just like last year. That match was so awesome. Like I said, I never thought I'd be able to see a Hell in a Cell unless they chased it around the world somewhere. But I got to see that one, and I'm glad I got to see that one because there have been some shitty Hell in a Cell matches, and I got probably one of the best ones ever. I think I would put it behind Undertaker and Michaels, the first one, but that is a damn good one that's going to go down in history of WrestleMania matches that people saw. That from there we got to see Rock and Cena as well. Oh, I'll also say that this kid got kicked out during the Cena and Jericho match, and seeing this kid sitting on the ground with security saying that because he had been dropped off and he was underage, he wasn't able to be there by himself. He got caught sitting in somebody else's seat, is how security caught him. But basically, they called the sheriffs over. The sheriffs took him out. That was a real big distraction. It took me out of the whole match, honestly. Miguel was making fun of me, but I think Ravi was as well as distracted as I was during that match. But it was sort of sad to see somebody pay all that money to go to WrestleMania, even though their parents just came and dropped them off. That they got kicked out. Um, after WrestleMania, we walked out and we had to meet up. We had to meet up with Kevin. We sat around for a while, mainly because we didn't want to deal with the traffic again. But then we started looking for this orange lot. Like I said, that we paid $40 in to park across the street. I think we sort of forgot that we parked across the street because we took directions from somebody that worked there. We ended up walking all the way around the arena to the point where I was like, no, I really remember that we've been standing here before because this is all looking way too familiar. Then we finally found out that we had to walk out, and we almost walked across the parking lot into a different parking lot. But luckily, we were redirected to the right spot, and we were one of the last cars in the lot that night. It was really crazy. If it wasn't for all the people that were lining up to watch the buses leave, like the wrestlers were really going to get out and wait for these mile-long, string of fans and sign for all these people. I have no idea. But we went home that next day, and we fell asleep pretty fast, if I remember right. And we didn't wake up. Well, I woke up a couple times. I woke up at 7:30 one time, 9:30. But we ended up staying in bed until almost, I think, 2:30 the next day, which is pretty damn late for me. But we were pretty beat from the whole week, and we want to make sure we got more sleep than we got last year. We didn't want to come back and tell everybody that we only got 10 hours of sleep at WrestleMania. But from there, we went out to South Beach. We went to the Jersey Shore Gelato Shop. That was a whole hell of a lot of fun. I got to go there. I think I was a bigger fan than everybody else, mainly because I never watched the show, but because I was going there, I wanted to make sure that I saw what the hell they were talking about. So it's fresher in my mind than it was theirs. I got to buy some T-shirts to send over to the kids. From there, we left. We went to Monday Night Raw. That was one whole hell of a lot of fun to go to. That was one of the best Raw crowds, people said, in at least 10 years. With the whole yes chants. We did the yes chants the whole way home from Raw. We did it through the streets, along the buses, through the hotel lobby. We started a little flash mob going on all the way up to our rooms. Once we got up there, I basically convinced everybody that we didn't want our trip to end like that. We went out one more time. We took over a Denny's. When we got to the Denny's, we got to see Zack Ryder and Dolph Ziggler, as well as I think it was John Cena's grandma and The Rock's mom was in there. But we got to meet up with the Boston brothers that night. Luke and Kevin came along, and no, Kevin wasn't there. Christian was there. But we got to we got that last we don't want to go home sort of thing. We stayed out way too late. Went back. We took over the gym. Had a good little wrestling match. We packed and got ready for the next day. So we all headed off to the airport, and we came home. Um, I don't know. It is what it is. We paid way too much money to go on this trip. I honestly don't think I'll ever throw down that much money unless I win the lottery for a WrestleMania trip again. I will be glad to sit anywhere. I don't have to sit that close, but throw your money at that package if you can, because that package makes it a whole hell of a lot easier. There's not as much stress there is than sitting there at your computer waiting to buy tickets when they come out. You just buy them all in one shot, and you don't have to do it. And if you can buy them, they seem to really take care of you, really give you good seats for everything. Hall of Fame, we had good seats. I guess the only way you can get better than 8th row seats for Mania is if you sit anywhere else. Where we sat at Raw and the 100s were damn good seats, damn good view of the stage, the ring, everything else. It was everything you could dream of. I had really good fun hanging out with all my friends. I would do it again as soon as I can, but the way shit is, I don't think I'll be heading out next year. And pass the torch on to somebody else. You guys have a whole hell of fun in New York, New Jersey. But I don't know, man. I don't know if I can do it again, but I will as soon as I can. I promise you that, because Mania is, oh, that was fucking awesome. I didn't show you this. Velvet Sky autograph 8x10. It's almost got me a divorce, but it was worth it.